What you're going to see, hopefully tomorrow, is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information, but it's pretty sick what that man did.
For a long time, Pam Bondi was the talk of the town, whether it was due to her fierce court fights or her powerful and well-established political connections. But now she's in the middle of a controversy that's just shocking. Instead of her triumphs, her secrets became the focus of the media attention this time. She finds herself engulfed in a scandal unlike any she has encountered, her meticulously constructed public persona shattered by an unforeseen and dramatic FBI raid. But for what did they seek so fervently? Behind the opulent doors of her mansion, what deadly secrets were hidden? What devastating facts have they uncovered that everyone else is completely unaware of? Plus, who else may be involved in this controversy, which is the most terrifying thought? Come with us as we reveal the shocking truth behind this political, scandalous, and power-driven epic. President Obama's current Attorney General, Pam Bondi, has long been a source of both praise and criticism. She was known as a prosecutor who wasn't afraid to take on corporate titans during her time as Florida's Attorney General from 2011 to 2019. Courtroom triumphs and press conferences may put on a show, but behind the scenes are a number of scandals that have sparked heated arguments and, who knows, maybe even FBI investigations. Returning to 2008, Bondi made a stand that many people can't seem to shake. She fought for the constitutionality of Amendment 2, which forbade same-sex marriage in Florida in court. It was a bold move that won many conservatives, but turned off many in the LGBT community. In June of 2016, Bondi was interviewed by CNN's Anderson Cooper and immediately found herself in a difficult position. What is it about? In the aftermath of the tragic nightclub tragedy in Orlando, she spoke out suddenly in favor of the LGBT community. On live air, the interviewer interrogated her about her recent compassion and how it related to her previous fights in court against same-sex marriage. The word awkward is so inadequate. During Bondi's time in office, there were plenty of business intrigues in addition to the attention-grabbing social concerns. Two lawyers who were looking into lender processing services, LPS, were coerced into leaving by her in 2011. After being investigated for its involvement in the foreclosure crisis, LPS eventually donated to Bondi's campaign. Is it a coincidence? Possibly yes. Skeptics, however, saw it more as poor timing. Trump University is an essential part of any Bondi hindsight. Not pursuing fraud charges against the now-defunct institution was Bondi's most notorious move. The time was, well, not exactly perfect. Just before this judgment was made, the Charity Foundation of Donald Trump donated $25,000 to Bondi's campaign. Opponents raised objections, claiming that Bondi had turned a blind eye due to political favors. After she became one of Trump's most faithful supporters, the timing of the accusations, which she denied, kept conspiracy theorists occupied for weeks. Bondi remained in the public eye for a long time without suffering any serious legal ramifications. The bombshell, however, arrived when word got out that her house had been searched by the FBI. As expected, rumors began to circulate rapidly. Were her political ties at the heart of this? Her actions during her time as AG? But maybe something completely else is happening that we haven't even noticed yet. Bondi certainly knows how to get folks talking. Now that the FBI is involved, her narrative appears to have just begun. Anyone who hears the name Pam Bondi is likely to envision a tornado of controversy following in her wake. Consequently, nobody was surprised or even shocked when word got out that the FBI had raided her posh estate. Bondi appears to be surrounded by controversy like a shadow at high noon, let's be honest. What really matters is not why the FBI arrived, but rather how long did it take. Manicured yards, peaceful streets, and the odd jogger in athleisure that costs more than your rent. That is the standard picture of peacefulness in Bondi's ritzy neighborhood. This was all before rumors spread that an unidentified group of SUVs had pulled up. FBI agents in black suits rushed the grounds, with some rushing for the mansion's front door and others carrying file boxes. Those folks that live nearby? Taken aback. Reportedly, one local said, "We've never seen anything like this before," as they clung to their pearls or maybe their dog, which is worth as much as a compact vehicle. However, were the feds just dropping over to say hello? The agent's possession of a warrant that reeked of serious business was corroborated by word on the street suggesting they were pursuing a significant target. What on earth could that be, though? The file isn't there. A secret hiding place? Perhaps it's simply a case of some really dubious tax returns. Naturally, Bondi has been involved in controversy before. Actually, it's almost her brand now. Do you recall her earlier dispute with the FBI over papers pertaining to Jeffrey Epstein? The Bureau was not exactly won over by it. In the past, Bondi and the FBI were involved in a heated disagreement about the treatment, or lack thereof, of records related to Jeffrey Epstein. Over and over, she demanded complete transparency, but they allegedly withheld hundreds of pages of crucial material. The papers were as exposing as an Alaskan bikini when they were ultimately released. A list of evidence, a severely redacted contact book supposedly associated with Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, and flight records from Epstein's notorious private jet were among the papers that were made public. It wasn't your ordinary IKEA inventory list. There were massage tables, intimacy toys, naked photos, and, well, you get the picture. Of course, people were furious about the document's publication, and Bondi certainly didn't win over any admirers with her treatment of them. People weren't exactly won over by the document's contents, and there wasn't quite as much new information as Bondi had promised. Notable Trump backers vented their anger on social media, with some calling out Bondi specifically. The Quartering's post on X was blunt. When Pam Bondi went on Fox News last night and said that her office was releasing new Epstein flight logs, names, and information, she already knew what was in the binders, the Quartering added, accusing her of misrepresenting the public. Defying the American people, she lied. Her departure would be the best course of action. We are forced to wonder, is there a connection between her Epstein-related shenanigans and this recent FBI raid? Would you like me to tell you something else? A controversy involving money? Doing away with paying taxes? Is there some hidden underground hideout where she hides all her dubious choices? A lot of people are making assumptions. For other conspiracy theorists, the obvious connection is her role in Epstein's case. After all, Bondi's name has been associated with several scandals involving his shady practices. Money, according to some, might be at the root of the problem. Even the most well-known public people can't escape financial crises. Then there are those who think it may be something very personal, albeit nobody knows for sure what that could be. Her reputation has suffered another blow, regardless of whether she is truly guilty or just caught in another wave of negative headlines. But we all know that Pam Bondi can turn any scandal into a show-stopping event. And now that word of a high-profile raid has spread, speculation is running rampant, leading many to ask, could a financial scandal be at the heart of this? But might this have any connection to the notorious network of Jeffrey Epstein? Almost no one is as divisive as Jeffrey Epstein. His life is like something out of a crime novel. He's wealthy, powerful, and embroiled in a scandal. The public still has more questions than answers on the case, which has sparked alarming accusations and conspiracy theories. New information and heated arguments keep drawing us back in, even after you thought the tension had died down. Epstein, who was 66 years old at the time of his death, was awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges in a New York City jail cell. He was accused of abusing teenage females. The official cause, the medical examiner, and the Justice Department in New York City have determined that it was a suicide. You must be a newcomer here if you believe that explanation satisfies everyone. Conspiracy theories have proliferated like weeds following a summer rain, even though the New York City medical examiner and the Justice Department both stamped suicide on the file. It is widely believed that Epstein was not suicidal, but rather that he was silenced in order to protect the reputations of some prominent figures. What would happen if these walls could speak, or in this instance, if those records could leak? It's hard to say. Some have hypothesized that the FBI's purported secrecy about case files is actually an attempt to safeguard critical records, rather than to reveal identities. Could the focus instead be on minimizing harm, rather than ensuring justice? The rumors around this latest raid have been spreading like wildfire, and it's hard not to wonder whether the goal is to conceal specific identities by seizing documents. Involvement of Pam Bondi, a pivotal character in this continuing story, in Epstein's case, has elicited a range of responses, from cheers to jeers and lots of side-eye. Her supporters see her as an advocate for open government, while her detractors see her as a tool in a bigger, less transparent scheme. Some have questioned Bondi's timing and motivations on social media. Do I see an honest effort at fairness here, or is this really another political chess move? Whatever the case may be, she has rekindled popular fury over a scandal that has swept the nation in recent times. Founder of Barstool Sports and vocal Trump supporter Dave Portnoy feels the issues firsthand. Every time the Epstein list is released, it's a disaster. Why is that? His internet outburst was rather dramatic. Also, Portnoy threw in gripes about immigration restrictions and cryptocurrency market problems all at once, since he isn't good at nuance. It was the epitome of an internet rant, disorganized, incoherent, and strangely hilarious. The questions need to be raised today if I'm going to be fair, Portnoy stated in an angry post. Every time the Epstein list is released, it's a disaster. Why is that? Why become a safe haven for the Tate brothers if you're going to kick away criminals and illegal immigrants? If Trump is the crypto king, then why is crypto in such a sorry state? At what point will Elon return to work if Tesla stock continues to plummet? Adding the mysterious billionaire Elon Musk to the mix was the perfect way to turn this tale around. Publicly endorsing Bondi's choice to disclose the Epstein papers, the Tesla CEO, whose resume appears to have included political commentator, has referred to it as a move toward responsibility. Remember, though, that we are dealing with Elon Musk. A dash of social media theater accompanies his backing. Since the recently disclosed records allegedly contain names from Epstein's notorious contact list, Musk's involvement has only served to fan the flames. Some are confused by Musk's foray into the Epstein tragedy, while others are furious and morbidly interested, like someone who can't tear themselves away from a car crash because he hasn't been bashful about giving his thoughts on everything from spaceflight to cryptocurrencies. It would be remiss of me not to mention the conspiracy theories that have been circulating about Epstein like confetti at a very disorderly parade. Was Epstein's suicide indeed intentional? Are influential people secretly influencing events? Why is everyone so adamant about releasing or censoring those files, and what precisely are they? The Epstein case has become a litmus test for our perceptions of power, corruption, and justice in contemporary society, regardless of whether the most recent FBI raid reveals new facts or merely adds to the mystery. The collective gasp that accompanied the radio's transmission of the news of a raid involving Pam Bondi might have powered a small metropolis. How about this? Was this a financial scandal involving her ties to Jeffrey Epstein, or something so intimate it would make a true crime series on Netflix look mild? Both the options and the hypotheses were limitless. Her alleged ties to Jeffrey Epstein were the first target of the rumors. The very mention of his name conjures images of massive scandals and shady transactions. We must not overlook Pam Bondi's prominent position as one of the defense attorneys representing Donald Trump in his initial impeachment trial in 2020. Oh, the political drama. Who could ever forget it? Claims that Trump tried to coerce the Ukrainian government into investigating Joe Biden by withholding military supplies were at the center of the trial. Bondi was the focus of attention, demonstrating her unwavering support for Trump and her impressive legal acumen. There should have been a whole courtroom drama series based on that performance. She was a lightning rod for Trump's detractors and a hero for Trump's fans. In any case, her involvement in the impeachment crisis solidified the association of her name with a very divisive event in American politics. However, this made some question whether her allegiance to Trump may have provided investigators with leads. More specifically, did she find herself in the spotlight because she defended one of the most divisive politicians of our time? Her venture into lobbying undoubtedly ensured that she remained in the spotlight, much more so than her role in the impeachment trial. Bondi allegedly made $115,000 monthly in 2019 from her prominent position as a registered foreign lobbyist for Qatar. Seriously, that's more money than the average person makes in a year. Although it is commendable that she was tasked with offering guidance on matters such as human trafficking, concerns regarding possible conflicts of interest have been raised, particularly in light of Qatar's contentious human rights record. After all, it's natural to question whether some ethical boundaries could be crossed when one is earning 6 figures per month. Who is to say whether she wasn't just trying to cash in on the situation, or if she was actually working to improve Qatar's reputation internationally? We must also remember the decision she made while serving as Attorney General of Florida. Despite her zeal in addressing issues like as consumer protection and the opioid crisis, she has been tormented by a choice she made, not to charge Trump University, which had received a contribution from Trump's charity. Investigative teams likely combed through her legal and lobbying records when she was involved in high-profile cases involving lobbying money and had political ties. Political scandals, international lobbying, and high-stakes litigation are just a few of the big-ticket items that Bondi's career touches on. Any one of them might potentially leave clues that are interesting enough to be investigated further. Whispers, on the other hand, are enough to make conspiracy theorists jump for joy. Rumors have circulated like smoke during a magic performance about offshore accounts and secret documents. Some have even suggested the presence of something sinister, something that may undermine her well-constructed public persona. A secret offshore account and papers. When the FBI raided her home, did they find this? What made the FBI search her home is something we just can't fathom. When the FBI raided her home, did they find this? Maybe there was some paper trail that investigators followed because of her previous judgments. Perhaps her lobbying efforts or her role as Trump's primary defense counsel have anything to do with it. Rather of fading into the background, the hubbub surrounding the surprise arrival of the FBI intensified. They supposedly found something really remarkable, a safe, during their hunt. But not any old safe. As expected, rumors began to circulate. I wonder what may be within. Possible hidden gems, private information, alternatively a collection of irreplaceable jewels? As quickly as a blender at full blast, speculation is whirling about. Bars of gold? Do you have financial records, secret court records, a hidden offshore account and a treasure map? For example, a handwritten confession, which would be quite upsetting. Authorities said they uncovered the safe in her private study where it had been hidden for years. And let's face it, these kinds of safes aren't exactly designed to hold greeting cards. It was a sturdy, substantial safe, the type that nearly begs, "I'm concealing something delicious." An eyewitness said that the agents toiled away at the metallic mystery for hours. As they retrieved tools and whispered discussions, the air was thick with anticipation as they attempted to open what may be a treasure trove of old tax returns, or perhaps Pandora's box. Amateur eyewitnesses in the neighborhood said that they observed officers painstakingly cataloging objects before placing them in evidence bags. Obviously, whatever was in that vault wasn't meant for sharing online. The Federal Bureau of Investigations, FBI, has maintained its characteristic air of secrecy. Not even a mysterious tweet has hinted at anything. The contents are classified, so everyone may speculate all they want. But what if the FBI's purported visit never took place? Is it possible that this is all a ruse to get Bondi to bite? The information that is available indicates that Bondi has a lengthy history of associations with a motley crew of people, including several prominent persons who have been involved in financial scandals. The fact that the FBI would visit her home and discover a safe with cryptic documents connected to many scandals is therefore not hard to fathom. The Federal Bureau of Investigations, FBI, allegedly sought proof of questionable financial dealings, including offshore accounts, questionable political contributions, and a hidden cache of monopoly funds. The options are limitless. Her ties to Trump's inner circle are another mystery. Could there be papers in this safe that implicate her in a scandal? Does Bondi have no idea that anything is amiss? Or is this all simply a huge misunderstanding? When the inquiry is over, we will know if Bondi was the mastermind behind the scenes or if someone else was. It seems substantial enough to keep everyone wondering, though, regardless of what they discovered. The former Florida Attorney General has long been a flashpoint due to his extensive network of influential friends and adversaries. People are wondering if the FBI raided her home as part of a planned takedown or if they stumbled across something larger. Whoever it is, they are demanding answers from high up, and they aren't holding back. Take a step back. Bondi's candidacy for the position of U.S. It was a bumpy ride for the Attorney General. The political fireworks during her confirmation hearings were enough to turn a reality TV producer green with envy, as she was being confirmed to the position of U.S. After Bondi was nominated to the position of Attorney General in January 2025, Senator Dick Durbin, the committee's leading Democrat, and the rest of the Senate Judiciary Committee immediately tackled the topic at hand: her connections to the former president and the question of whether she could genuinely exemplify the independence required by the position. Because of his reputation for cutting to the chase, Durbin wasted no time getting right to the point. I want to know if you would say no to the president if he asked you to do something that's wrong, illegal, or unconstitutional. So can she refuse her buddy Donald's more imaginative proposals when he phones her? This may have been Bondi's breakout performance. In an effort to diffuse the situation, her reaction was composed and self-assured. Her undying devotion, she told the committee, was to the rule of law. As if that weren't clear enough, she went on to say, "I am committed to protecting the Constitution and keeping the Department of Justice independent." She also made it clear that she would fight any attempt by the president to overstep his authority. Durbin's line of inquiry reflected ongoing reservations over Bondi's objectivity and went beyond mere hypotheticals. It was well known that she had a past with Trump. Some have raised concerns about her involvement with him because of her outspoken support for him when he was president and her position on his legal defense team. Bondi was grilled on a wide range of topics, including immigration policy, her handling of presidential pardons, and her thoughts on the 2020 election by Senators Alex Padilla and Adam Schiff, who were also part of the group. The verbal sparring was as keen as a chef's knife. It could only have been delivered by someone with experience in political battle. Bondi once used a zinger that could have been a mic drop to retaliate against Schiff. "You were censured by Congress for comments just like this that are so reckless." Schiff, who was unfazed by a verbal sparring match, voiced concerns about Bondi's apparent cozy relationship with Trump and her possible leniency toward riot defendants from January 6th in the Capitol. "We need reassurance that justice will not be politicized," he asserted, his tone betraying his mistrust. Despite the Democrats on the committee taking offense to Bondi's claims that she would be fair and unbiased, she persisted in her stance. It gets much more ambiguous after that. Schiff criticized Bondi for her ties as much as her legal theory. Her relationship with Trump has always been contentious, and Trump's suggestion that he pardon anybody convicted in relation to the Capitol incident hasn't exactly helped matters. Bondi's present problems seem more like political revenge than a matter of justice, and this type of relationship makes one wonder. Now we can talk about the supposed FBI raid. Was this a calculated effort by Bondi's political opponents to depose her? Another possibility is that the Bureau has uncovered something so explosive that it might incriminate several prominent persons. It appears this is about more than simply Bondi now, and that much is obvious. All things considered, the narrative appears thicker than oatmeal, the players are more powerful, and the stakes are bigger. One can't help but question whether those in charge felt a sense of cosmic justice was due. Is Pam Bondi about to have her comeuppance, or just another turn in the endless web of political intrigue? Did she accidentally step on someone's toes or insult them? The fact that Bondi is in the eye of a political maelstrom that shows no indications of going away anytime soon is an indisputable fact. It is uncertain if she will get out unharmed or if she will be another victim of the vicious power struggles in Washington. At this point in time, however, one thing is certain. In politics, it is more important to have a large network of people you know and have successfully courted than to have a deep understanding of policy issues. So, might the contents of the hidden safe be a result of her ties to Trump? The continuing drama of federal charges against associates of Donald Trump has been one of the most captivating and intricate plot points in the ever-changing soap play that is American politics. The legal community has been focusing heavily on Trump's closest circle due to sensitive papers and the mayhem in the Capitol. Get ready for more drama. This one isn't finished yet. The first is the classified documents case, which stars Walt Nauta, a previous president's trusted advisor. On charges of mishandling classified government documents, Nauta was indicted with Trump by the federal authorities. Picture it as a high-stakes storage wars scenario, except instead of bidding on long-lost artifacts, the FBI is rummaging through documents for secret documents. A lot of people are wondering how these records got into the wrong hands, and a lot of people are suspicious of the case overall. Or did someone in the filing cabinet decide to rebel? Whatever the case may be, the legal issues surrounding Nauta have contributed yet another chapter to the ever-expanding canon of judicial dramas involving the Trump administration. Remember January 6th, the day that will be written in stone in court records and history books, the Capitol riot. As a result of their actions leading up to the mayhem, many Trump associates have become the targets of legal prosecution. Notable figures who were involved in the rally's planning or promotion before it escalated into an uprising are among those named. Envision a political gathering that devolves into a disastrous reality show replete with goofy outfits, wild speculation, and an abundance of embarrassing selfies. Efforts by prosecutors to determine when, what, and why have resulted in rapid and relentless legal repercussions. The mass layoffs lawsuit is a storyline that hasn't gotten nearly enough attention. Claiming illegal mass layoffs of government employees, a group of attorneys general has targeted federal agencies under Trump's administration. Even while Trump's closest associates aren't directly involved in this lawsuit, it serves as a tantalizing reminder of the larger legal issues that surfaced throughout his presidency. Imagine it as the underdog plot in a political drama, not as exciting as the rioting in the Capitol or the secret documents, but crucial to the plot nevertheless. The complaint claims that agencies under Trump's administration rushed to reduce staff without following required protocols. The claims have ignited another round of legal disputes related to the previous government, regardless of whether it was deliberate or just a result of bureaucratic bungling. The cumulative effect of these lawsuits is to demonstrate the intense legal investigation of Trump's inner circle. It appears that no part of Trump world has been exempt from the scrutiny of the courtroom, with aides, rally organizers, and even government agencies being held in suspicion by Bondi and the FBI. A deluge of news conferences and carefully worded remarks might be in order in light of the numerous reports circulating around the FBI raid on Pam Bondi's estate. Rather than that, Bondi has been completely quiet, giving no interviews, tweets, or even an enigmatic Instagram picture. Was her legal team trying to get her to say something, or is she just too shocked to talk? The sound of nothingness is overwhelming. Rumor has it that the mysterious box had far more than simply old tax returns. Inside, there were crucial documents. It is unclear if it was connected to Donald Trump's legal crisis or Jeffrey Epstein's political ties. Thus, we are left with just our speculations and an increasing number of unsolved mysteries, until either the FBI chooses to reveal all, or an irate whistleblower is unable to refrain. The main concern is, what comes after this? Will Bondi be prosecuted? Does this inquiry have the potential to reveal something even more significant? Meanwhile, will it all fade away into the depths of mystery, never to be heard again? The political elite may wish to buckle up, that much is certain. We are only at the beginning of this epic tale. Salutations, everyone. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel if you found this video entertaining. Make sure to watch the following video that appears on your screen before you exit.